So today we are going to be talking about the Viribus Unitis. Now, because of the beautiful game recently in the event, I got a tier 5 container and we get the Viribus Unitis here. Now, the Viribus Unitis, this is an Austro-Hungarian ship, so that means this is a World War One ship. If looking at the design, I quite like the design, I really do. It is really like bulky, but in a great way in my opinion. It's looking really compact. It's really good in my opinion. Now you have good armor, but the problem is you have a citadel that is quite high. So that is the problem that you will be facing. Now in this game, this is probably one of my best games in this ship. It's a tier 7 to tier 5 games, and it's quite common for tier 5 to get up tier, double up tier to tier 7s, and especially that, you know, tier 5 is the first tier that start double up tiering. You will typically never play a tier 5 to tier 4 games without bots inside them. That I think that this ship is probably one of the best non-OP ship in my opinion. Okay, it is not obviously not Julius Caesar, not those kinds of OP ship, but this is quite decent for. I guess it's for a premium, right? It's balanced in my opinion. Now, why is this ship so good in win rate? And I think that the reason why is just because of the consistency of these guns. You have 4 times 3 305mm guns in a super turret position, so that means that you are able to shoot all your guns both to the port and to the starboard side, which is really great, especially for World War One designs. Now, this ship has, even though it's only 305mm, which means you can only overmatch 21mm and below. At this tier, there is a lot of cruisers that is 21mm and below, at tier 5 at least. And it is mid in terms of AP pan at 12 kilometers, which means that even though this is quite small shells, it can carry quite a punch. Now, what that is all great and all, but what you want to also take note is that this ship has the third highest AP DPM and HE DPM. Both of them is third highest. That means that this ship can pump out damage much like better than most of tier 5 battleships. Second of all, this ship actually have the greatest sigma in the game for the tier 5 battleship, which is 1.9 sigma. This means that your shells are really accurate in tier 5 battleship standard. Now, if you have played New York and such, you will know that the guns is bad in tier 5. You will struggle to hit anything, especially if you play Congo, right? That ship is honestly really bad in terms of accuracy, right? But one thing that the Congo has that you don't have, actually two things, is that you have slow speed. You only have 20.5 knots, while the Congo is zooming around at 30 knots, so that's quite different. Second of all, you have, I would assume, like tier 3 battleship HP at 35.7 k HP, so it's extremely low for tier 5 standards. Congo is 54,000, so that is like almost a double your HP. Okay, it's not double, but 1.7 times your HP, which is really interesting in my opinion, right? So you have really a glass cannon. You have good dispersion, you get good firepower, but the platform in it is not that great. By the way, look at that shell spread. You can see there why this ship is really great. Because at 14 range, if I were another tier 5 battleship, I probably won't hit much of that shell. But because I am in a Viribus Unitis, I could hit most of my shells there on the Mackensen. Now, the problem with this ship, it comes when if you are up tiered to tier 7 constantly. The reason why is because you have tier 3 HP and only 16-kilometer range, yep, you're going to die quickly without island cover. So this ship is really tough to play in those very hard up-tiered matches. But if you play around tier 5 and tier 6, or maybe there is like one tier 7 like in this game, I think that there is one tier 7 if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, I think it's all tier 6 and tier 6 and tier 5, which is really good. Now this section of the video, I want to highlight this. This is where I fight the New York. Now do notice that because of my HP is very low, even New York only will get 1 pen there or 2 pens, it already take a huge amount of our HP. Now New York doesn't have any armor, so he can overmatch his bow and get to his citadel. But the problem is, as you can see here right now, I turn slightly broadside to this New York, and this New York will going to punish me for it. It's not the right moment to say it actually, but just shortly after this, I will get punished by this New York. Bam! Look at that. 21k by his front, only by his front guns. Okay, if he were to shoot a full salvo towards me, I would be dead. Okay, so yeah, that's honestly one of the downside in this ship. It's just that you are tanky, but at the same time not that tanky, right? You have armor, but it's not good armor on some level. You have better angles, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So you will need to show a lot of broadside to shoot all 12 guns, and you want to shoot all 12 guns because this salvo weight is awesome. But yeah, you will susceptible to being a citadel there. You also have very low HP, so your tankiness is not that great if you want to shoot all 12 guns. If you want to shoot only 2 guns in the front, then you are quite tanky. So this ship is more, as many other people say, this is a glass cannon, but in my opinion, I think that this ship is really good. Okay, why? Because if you play, if you have bad armor, then well, you can play longer range, right? You can play angle, or you can play, I don't know, do some stuff to the angling. But if you have inconsistent guns, you won't be able to make your shot counts, right? In those game winning salvos, you won't be able to do so, especially if, let's say, you are fighting a DSD, as I'm showing right now. I actually misaimed there for the T22, but essentially against DD, your accuracy is really good, right? Now at this point, this is also highlighting one of the weakness of this ship, and that is the slow speed. I'm trying to get to the opposite end of this battle, with my only 20 knots full speed, and I also try to shoot at this T22, which caused me to turn and obviously make me slower. So yeah, it's honestly a really tough ship, in the sense that if you play it wrong in the position wise, you won't be able to run away, and if the enemy is not in your side of the map, then you probably won't do anything for the rest of the game. So that is always been the downside of a slow battleship. If the maps are small, like maybe if you're fighting tier 4s or maybe full tier 5s, then it's fine. But if you are up tier to like tier 7s, then you will struggle. You will really struggle in this ship. Okay, so oh yeah, by the way, it's probably the HE can pan 51mm. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, it's something. Okay, honestly, at this lower tier, some battleship have thicker armor on the deck, so 51mm is not necessarily the best HE pan compared to, let's say, the Iron Duke. Really great HE pan on those, and this is definitely not a great idea. Not a great HE spammer. But although you have good fire chance at 20%, if I 27%, if I'm not remembering correctly. Oh, by the way, this shows our AA is almost non-existent. Because we only deal 400 damage here if you're looking at the counter on the top right to this enemy Ise plane, even though he's loitering around on our AA bubble for a long time. Our AA range is 3 kilometers and you don't have any chances of dealing with carriers, so essentially you don't have AA at all. You do have one of the best detect though at tier 5 if you're full concealment build at 10.9. That's going to able to save you from a lot of situations where you might not want to get spotted. By the way, this Kijuin, I'm waited for his turn, and I think we can blap him quite decently with this salvo. 22,000 damage to that Kijuin tier 6 Dutch cruiser. You can see there the consistency of this gun. It's really awesome. If I were in any other tier 5 battleship, sure, I could wait for the same salvo, but I couldn't guarantee like my shell will hit. Well, in this ship, I can guarantee it. Okay, this Marblehead at 14 kilometers, we can chunk him also for a couple thousand damage. Get a Citadel, pretty good. We dodge almost all of the torpedoes from the carriers, I think, or from the Ise. Okay, from Ise. So pretty good. Now this is where we are quite struggling right now. Luckily this Ise is not really the best of players in my opinion, because he's like not focusing on me or something, or he cannot kill me quite quickly, because I can farm this Ise quite well in this couple of minutes. And this Iron Duke as well not looking at me for whatever reason. I think he should have but it's helped me getting a really good game. I get a high caliber, by the way, just this hitting this Ise for 7k angle. Pretty good for these guns, because I can aim for his superstructure and his flight deck. Now look at how quite tanky I am if I'm angled like this, but obviously we cannot get the back guns to shoot. But we deal quite a lot of damage to that Ise, so if you have more time, I think I could take down this Ise quite well, even though we are in massive HP disadvantage. So 120,000 damage for a tier 5 battleship, that's great. 1.4 base XP and 300,000 credits. So overall, a really good game. I hope you guys enjoy it. See you guys next time. Bye bye.